Hi everyone, it's Nicki here. For those who are new to my channel, I am an editor and author, and I post videos obviously about editing, writing, reading, but also about a few of my other interests. And that's what I thought I would share today. From last year I started reviewing the films that I go and see on my blog. Since I'm doing it on my blog, and I've seen a few other friends of mine here on YouTube doing videos about other media, films, TV, I figured I might as well share some of these things with you too, as part of one of my videos. So what I thought I'd do is, at the end of each month, just as I tell you what books I've been reading, I will also share what films I've been seeing, if I've been to the theatre, what I've been watching on Netflix or TV. I won't do that in the same video as the books, otherwise it'll get ridiculously long, because the book videos are long enough as it is. But I figured I would just do the book video and then one on other media or other entertainment that I've been enjoying. This month will be a little bit different. I'm actually going to split this video into two, one for film and theatre and one for TV, and that's just because I'm catching up from January as well, so it'd be again quite long if I put them all together. So I thought just for this month I'll split them, but in future I'll just do a single video that'll cover theatre, film, TV all together. So without any further ado, let me move on. I'm going to start off with theatre and film in this video. I've only been to the theatre once so far this year, and that was while I was still in London visiting my family, and I went to see the new musical called The Grinning Man. It makes me smile even just mentioning it, see? It's an amazing piece, really amazing. It's the first new musical I've seen in ages that has completely captivated me. Everything about it is beautiful. The music, the staging, the cast are amazing, the costumes. For those who haven't heard of it yet, it's based on one of Victor Hugo's novels, a lesser known one called The Man Who Laughs, L'Homme qui rit. It's a slightly grotesque tale in a way. The main character, Gwynplaine, who's called Grimpaine in the musical, has, as a child, had his face sliced so that he is permanently smiling. And the sort of basis of the story is, how did this happen to him, why did it happen to him? And he's got a father figure in the form of a wandering philosopher called Ursus, and he ends up with an adoptive sister slash love interest called Dea, who he rescues from the snow when we first meet him. I don't want to say too much about the story in case you guys are going to read it, but the way this show is done is absolutely amazing. It's presented, just imagine Tim Burton doing theatre, and you'll get the sort of feel of the piece. It's quite dark, there's a lot of black humour, and it's a show that just makes you cry one moment and then you're like giggling the next. The music's stunning, as I said, really beautiful score, fantastic to hear a proper new musical theatre score for a change, because so many shows these days are just rehashes of pop stars music and things like that, and it's wonderful to hear a proper new score. I could go and see the show if I was still in London. I'd be going to see the show again, probably more than once. If you're in London, it's on until mid-April, so get there now before you miss it. I really hope they're going to do a cast album. And you can find some of the songs on YouTube. If I think about it, I'll put a link in the description below for you. I could talk about the show all day, but I'm gonna be quiet now. I mean, obviously for me, it was a 5-star watch. It was absolutely amazing. And it so inspired me that I've gone off and watched all the film versions of the story that I can find. I found a Russian musical version on YouTube. I've read the graphic novel, and I've got the original novel sitting here on my TBR list ready to read soon. Absolutely, it's really gotten inside me. It's often in my mind, even though it's been nearly 2 months since I saw it. It's constantly with me still. It was that impactful. So moving along anyway, to films. Also, while I was still in England, my sister and I went to see The Greatest Showman. I loved this film. I mean, I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. It's a really wonderful piece. La La Land, I didn't hate it, but I think I expected more, and so I felt a little bit let down, and it was okay, but it wasn't as amazing as I'd thought, given all the rave reviews. But this one, I thought the music was way more memorable than La La Land. The songs are brilliant, they're catchy, and I think it helps having proper singers in the main roles. You put someone like Hugh Jackman in front of a camera with a microphone, and you know, you're all good to go. So it's a really wonderful piece. I love the colours, I love the costumes, beautiful cinematography, and just a real feel-good show that I'm really looking forward to seeing again once the DVD releases. On my way home, I stopped at Changi Airport and I was there for 6 hours. So I went into their free cinema and saw a screening of Hunt for the Wilder People. Now obviously this is an older film, but it was my first time seeing it. This is a 4-star film for me. I really love the humour, and I mean some of it is very New Zealand humour, I have to say, but I think it plays well like across cultures too. It had me laughing, and probably at times when you really shouldn't be laughing, but it's just one of those shows. Again, it's quite a black humour in a way, but it was great fun. I really enjoyed it. Probably not one I'd want to watch again and again, but if I came across it and my husband wanted to watch it a second time, I probably would, because it was amusing. I'm going to come on to the next film I saw again at the end, and I'm going to jump now to The Shape of Water, which I saw towards the end of January. I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro. I love all his stuff. I particularly loved things like Pan's Labyrinth, Crimson Peak. So this film's in a similar vein to those. I thought it sort of had the elements of Pan's Labyrinth fantasy about it, but more grounded in reality. 4.5 star, as I said. It's beautifully acted and even more beautifully shot. I mean, visually this is a stunning movie. As always, there's wonderful thematic imagery that Guillermo brings in. It's perhaps not my favourite of his. I think Pan's Labyrinth and Crimson Peak are still top of the list, but this one definitely comes in close after that. It has a lot of great messages presented in an entertaining and heartbreaking at times way. So if you're a fan of that kind of fantasy realism, then this is definitely one you'll want to see. A complete change of pace next. In early February I saw Call Me By Your Name. This is a coming of age and a coming out, in a way, drama based on a book, and I didn't actually realise it was based on a book until after I'd seen the film, and I have now read the book too, and both the film and the book for me get 5 stars. This is an absolutely beautiful story. It's so poetical. The whole imagery, the language, visually the film was beautiful. Armie Hammer, I think, is a really underrated actor, and he was stunning in this, as was, oh my goodness, his name's Timothée, but I can't remember his surname, but the actor who's playing the other lead, also a wonderful performance. I loved the way this film played to my interests as well. You know, they're always talking about music and the books and language, and so I sort of fell in love with them because I was like, oh, I'd love to sit down and have a chat to these guys as well. And their story was beautiful. It's fairly bittersweet, so don't go in expecting a big, happy, feel-good ending. But nonetheless, this is a wonderful film that I would definitely be buying on DVD and watching again and again, because it's just gorgeous. Moving into February, and I saw 2 more films, or moving into later February I should say. So this is what I saw just over a week ago. I went to the cinema for a double bill. I saw The Phantom Thread and Black Panther, both of which got 4 stars from me. Phantom Thread, first of all, it's a really gripping drama. Again, it's a beautiful visual piece. I did feel the pacing got a little bit slow now and again, and it probably didn't help that I'd only had 4.5 hours sleep the night before, so I was a little bit tired as well, and I kind of needed it to hold my interest and keep me concentrating a bit more than it did at times. Nevertheless, the stunning performances. Daniel Day-Lewis is sublime in this piece. I was totally enthralled and fascinated by him, and a bit in love with him as well by the end. It's just here so charismatic, the way he portrayed the character. So if you like sort of dark drama with a bit of a psychological twist, then Phantom Thread is probably one for you. And moving on to Marvel and Black Panther now, you all know I'm a big MCU fangirl, so I was really excited for this film, and I did really enjoy it. I thought the plot worked well, it was beautifully paced, plenty of action, great performances. I know everyone's sort of saying this is the best Marvel movie. I don't think personally for me it is. I don't think it's quite eclipsed Thor Ragnarok, but then that does help that you've got Tom Hiddleston, who I'm a big fan of, you've got Loki, who's my favourite Marvel character, so that probably tips the balance a bit for me. Nonetheless, it is a great film, Black Panther. It didn't really play too much into the overarching story. Like, I did wonder whether they would introduce the final Infinity Stone in this one, which they didn't. So there wasn't too much relating it to what's going to happen Civil War, just one or two little hints here and there. Ah, sorry, Civil War, Infinity War. Sorry, I'll get my head straight in a minute. But it was still really great. I mean, I buy all Marvel on DVD, so it's one I'll be getting, I'll be watching again. My husband hasn't seen it yet, and I'm sure he'll enjoy it. It just, for me, didn't quite pip Thor Ragnarok to the post. Which brings me on to the last film that I need to mention for January and February. And this is a film I actually went to see twice in the cinema. Yes, I did love it. And that's Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, I've been a Star Wars fan for a few years, but only insofar as I enjoy the movies, so I've not really gotten into all the books and all the other background stuff. I enjoyed Force Awakens, however, for me, Last Jedi was way better. There was just something about it. I loved the slight change. Force Awakens just felt like a replay of A New Hope in some ways to me. But Last Jedi, they really went somewhere different. And mostly for me, this is about Kylo Ren. He is absolutely the best character Star Wars has produced so far. He's so interesting. His backstory is brilliant. I love the way his character is developing so far through the films, and I just really hope they're going to do it justice when they finish it off in the final movie. I just hope they're not going to cop out and give him a really crap ending as the bad guy, or just do a Darth Vader like retake. And I really love Reylo, as you might guess from my t-shirt, in case you can see this t-shirt here. A little quote from Last Jedi going on there, and since seeing Last Jedi I also acquired my Kylo Ren pop vinyls, as you can see here. I absolutely adored Last Jedi. Visually it was great. There were some wonderful moments, particularly with the Rey Kylo Ren stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it really. It's a great action film, it's a great fantasy film, beautifully acted by the leads, and in particular I think Adam Driver's doing an absolutely amazing job. So I will leave it there, because otherwise I will ramble on and on about Kylo Ren for probably about another 10 minutes. So I shall stop myself. I'm filming this on, what are we today, the 23rd of February. I'm not expecting to get to the cinema again now till early March, so I will be back then when I've got a few things in March I want to see, so I can't wait to share all of those with you.